Rapper Kanye West and other celebrities will be here in Oklahoma City later today to remember his mother.
Donda West died earlier this month after complications from cosmetic surgery. Eyewitness News 5's Adam Singer is in Spencer, where in just a few hours she will be laid to rest.
John Tierney, the friends and family of 58-year-old Donda West, are gathering in Oklahoma City and Spencer this morning to remember her. The funeral is going to be here at 1 o'clock at True Vine Ministries, and we're now just learning more details about her death. The surgeon who operated on Donda West told the LA Times that possible causes include a heart attack, pulmonary embolism, an accidental overdose of drugs prescribed to her for pain after her surgery. Now, Donda West died November 10th from complications from cosmetic surgery. Dr. West taught at Chicago State University for 24 years. She had moved to California, but still has lots of friends in the Oklahoma City area and the Chicago area.
His wife, Doris Jordan, died after getting liposuction and a Brazilian butt lift at a cosmetic surgery clinic in Lawrenceville. That clinic, Say Bello, has since closed. According to the state, it dissolved a year after Doris's death. And just last month, a Gwinnett County judge awarded Jordan's family $52 million in damages. But according to the family's lawyer, the clinic was not insured, and James said he has nearly nothing to show for his wife's death.
We don't even get $1. So, I mean, we're suffering on both ends. We don't get compensated for her death.
So what happened? Jordan's attorney, Moses Kim, said during the procedure, the clinic ran out of anesthesia. He said things only got worse after that.
Miss Jordan was not breathing. And when they went to see if she was getting any oxygen through the tubes in her nose, they ran the line and realized the end of the plastic tube wasn't connected to any oxygen because they didn't have any oxygen in the facility.
According to court documents, the clinic did not call 911 until 19 minutes after they realized Doris did not have a pulse and was not breathing. She died the next day. I called the doctor involved, Dr. Kanye Willis. According to the family's attorney, she reached a separate settlement with the family. And when asked about her role in the incident, I just wanted to see if you had a comment on this case and your role in it.
Not at this time.
The owner of Say Bello, according to court documents, is John Holmes. In records acquired by Atlanta News First, he used to own a place called Butts Gone Wild in the same Lawrenceville complex. We tried to reach him, but he did not pick up.
The malpractice that occurred began before the surgery ever started. This was a disaster waiting to happen by the way that this aesthetic center was put together.
Kim and James Jordan now urging everyone, do your due diligence. Check to see if the clinic is insured, if doctors are certified, if staff are full-time, before going under for cosmetic surgery.
With Dr. Donda West, Kanye West's mom, it was a defining cultural moment in our society that really put a lot of eyeballs on this surgery thing, but it seemed like a one-off situation because there weren't a ton of black women getting plastic surgery. I mean, unless you were in Hollywood, other than that, you really weren't thinking about plastic surgery. And so that was what stood out during that time, is like, you know, there were some people who were speaking negatively about Donda and saying that, you know, she's gone Hollywood and things like that, to imply that, oh, now she's in Hollywood, that's why she is pursuing cosmetic surgery. And the truth is that many people in Hollywood do pursue surgery. That's true. The average woman, however, started pursuing surgery within like the last 10 years or so. And again, that's because of the rise of the BBL. And so since then, there has been a lot of deaths. Many of these deaths you have not heard about, likely would not have heard about until you watch this video. And there will continue to be black women losing their lives this way. The people who I'm profiling, the women, these women went to board certified plastic surgeons. Dr. Donda West, Kanye West's mom, the other 3 women that I am going to be featuring in this video, they went to board certified plastic surgeons. So that is what's interesting, is that people always say that is the number one thing you need to look for. Make sure your plastic surgeon is board certified. And the reality is that there are board certified plastic surgeons who have deaths under their belt. Now, it doesn't mean that the surgeon caused the death. And that's the nuance here, is that, you know, a lot of times, as we've talked about here on this channel with recovery houses and people being administered the wrong medication or too much medication, there's a lot of things that can happen in the post-op care realm.
When Stierra Ballard didn't hear from her mom, Tamala Smith, for days, she kept calling until finally a police officer picked up.
I said, "Who are you and what are you doing on my mom's phone?" And he stated, "Well, this is Glendale Police Department and I'm here with your mom's body."
The officer told her that it appeared Smith had a surgery.
Our bodies know what is best for us.
After seeing her advertisements online, she'd gone to board-certified plastic surgeon Heidi Reganis for liposuction and a Brazilian butt lift. Days later, Smith was dead.
My granny was all I had.
Ballard later learned in the 4 months before her mother's death, 2 other women died following cosmetic procedures performed by the same doctor. And what is even more outrageous to Ballard, that doctor's still practicing medicine today. I just spoke to staff at this clinic and they told me that Dr. Heidi Reganis is still practicing medicine and performing procedures at least this location. It appears she's no longer working at the clinics where the deaths occurred, and it's unclear whether she's performing surgeries. She never replied to our multiple interview requests. We've tried ringing multiple times. No one's answering.
So my apologies if I'm not looking at the camera. I'm driving. I have a lot to say, so I'm going to just take you on the journey with me today. And why it is important that we start with Donda West is because when she got surgery, and by the way, she did not get a BBL. She is the one woman who I will be talking about who actually did not get, let me slow down, who actually did not get a BBL. She got a tummy tuck, a breast lift, and lipo. But why her story is so important is because at that time, I believe it was 2004 or 2007. At that time, when Dr. West got her surgery, this was before the BBL era, before the BBL epidemic. BBLs had not gone mainstream at this time, although there were some women out there who had them. They were not mainstream. Black women in America were not getting BBLs at the rate that they are now. And so essentially, black people were not getting cosmetic and plastic surgery at the rate that they are now because the BBL back then wasn't as a thing. It wasn't mainstream. Donda West, the tragic death, was something that permeated the entire culture, permeated the black community, raised awareness about a lot of different things. I mean, I don't know if you guys, how much you know about the story, but even a law was put in place in California called Donda's Law after she passed, which requires people to disclose pre-existing medical issues that they might have. So there's just so much to this story. But the angle that I want to take has to do with, oh, the cherry blossoms are blossoming. The angle that I want to take has to do with her age. I believe she was 57 when she passed. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about several women. Donda was 57. There's 2 other women who I'm going to reference who passed away as a result of cosmetic surgery, including a BBL. They were 55, both women. And then there's one woman who was 44. Now, all of these women, I'm pretty confident that many of you all have not heard of them. You have not heard of their deaths because, to be honest with you, as a society, we've become rather desensitized. When we hear someone has died, especially from cosmetic surgery, many people don't care, or to the degree that they care, it's, limited because they feel like it was the person's fault because, they signed the papers, they, chose to go have the surgery. But again, why I'm bringing up Donda's story is because I recently found out how complex her situation actually was. And it's still, I mean, obviously she still agreed to do the procedure, which unfortunately led to her tragic death. But I did not know that she tried to cancel her procedure. And the reason why she went through with it is because she couldn't get her money back. I did not know that Kanye West did not want her to have this procedure. He did not agree with it. I did not know that Donda was in a relationship with a man who had his eye on, you know, younger women. Apparently he was cheating on her, and I think she thought that the surgery would give her a bit of a boost, probably make her look younger, feel younger. So I say all that to say, looking at all of these women who have passed as a result of cosmetic surgery, over 50. You know, I mean, sometimes we're talking about over 40, but we're talking about over 50. It becomes apparent that there's something deeper happening with Black women. So I kind of want to go a little deeper with this video and talk more about the psychology of it. And not so much just, okay, they chose to do something that probably wasn't a great idea, and as a result they lost their lives. A lot of times when a person is choosing to do something drastic like cosmetic surgery, it is the outcome that they're seeking. So it's not so much that they're seeking, I mean, yes, they want to have a better body, but I think more importantly, they want the feeling that the better body, quote unquote, will give them. They want the transformation. So however this snatched, more curvy, slender, whatever you want to call it, however this body will make them feel, that is actually what they want. They want that feeling. And what typically happens is that most people, after they get surgery, immediately after they get surgery, cosmetic surgery, most people instantly regret it. Now, as the weeks go on and the pain lessens, you know, typically people start to feel better about it. Some people, like Summer Walker, are like, this is great, I love it, I want to keep doing it. But generally, most people immediately after surgery regret it because they're in pain, they're swollen, you know, there's just, you know, yeah, they're probably the closest to death that they've ever been, and they are like, why did I do this? So what happens is that people realize immediately after surgery that the feeling that they were going for that caused them to seek out and get the surgery done, that feeling is far from them, like nowhere in sight. And so what's so sad, especially, is that when you have these women who, you know, I'm profiling in this video, you have these women, all of who died, I mean, almost immediately, I mean, within either days or weeks after their procedure. So they never got to even experience the fruits of that feeling that they were seeking to begin with. Because we know that at the age of 40 plus and 50 plus, as Black people with all the different ailments and issues within our community, it is a blessing even to make it to 40 and 50 and 60. And so to make it there and to then do something drastic to your body, like something traumatic to your body like surgery, where the rate of having a complication is very high. You know, I mean, a doctor will tell you that. A lot of people have complications. So to put yourself in that position when you're already older, what does that mean? What does that say about the psychology of the person? And that is what I want to go a little bit deeper into in this video.
An autopsy report listed Ballard's cause of death as renal failure of unknown cause, adding an injury directly from the surgery cannot be identified. But Ballard is now suing the doctor, alleging she failed to properly pre-screen her mother, use proper surgical techniques and equipment, and failed to properly monitor her during and after surgery. The families of the two other patients who died also sued Dr. Reganis. One settled, the other lawsuit is ongoing.
I'm sure, 1,000% sure, if my mom had known, she would not have let that woman touch her. Right here.
Ballard filed a complaint against Reganis with the Medical Board of California. It's been nearly 2 years. Ballard says she's frustrated patients have no way to learn about any ongoing investigations.
I say the medical board does not care.
You believe that the medical board does not care whether a patient lives or dies?
Absolutely. And I can look you straight in your eye and tell you that with nothing inside of me doubting what I'm saying is the absolute truth.
TJ Watkins has been a member of the medical board for 6 years. He says situations like this are very common, pointing to a disciplinary process that he alleges endangers patients and is rigged in favor of the doctors.
Nobody is protecting the patient. If you were really protecting the patients, there would be a notice right now that says this doctor is being investigated.
Watkins is now advocating for state legislation that alerts the public when a doctor is being investigated for a serious offense.
Right now, there's an assumption that all doctors are safe, and that is true most of the time. But in a small percentage of the time, it is absolutely not true.
In a statement, the California Medical Board says state laws limit what information can be made public. Writing, the board diligently reviews and investigates all complaints, adding it is wrong to say that the board is failing patients and endangering lives. As for Reganis, her lawyers have denied the claims against her in court.
She has a license to kill. When is it gonna stop?
And how would you know?
How will we know?
Part of beauty is a moving target. Beauty is not stagnant. Beauty is not stationary. As a woman, you keep having to adapt and change and grow and evolve, right? And one of the things that stands out is women who don't adapt and change, women who are still wearing Daisy Dukes and got their boobs all out when they're 60. Like, we all know those people who just, they don't know how to adapt, or they don't want to. And so as a woman myself, in my 40s, it's about understanding that beauty is something that will shift, and my goal is to shift as best as I can with my own beauty algorithm, if you will. But it's a moving target, and you know, I think ultimately my goal is to attain effortless beauty. And one of the things about anything that's effortless is that it's actually a lot of work. That is the irony in this world. Anytime you see something that appears that it didn't take any effort, most of the time it actually took a lot of effort to appear as though it didn't. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So whether that be, you know, you might look at someone physically and think, oh, you just, you know, you just have that body, you don't have to work out, or you don't have to, you know, eat a certain way, and you have no idea what that person is doing. That person could be fasting and consistently working out and watching their diet to have the figure that they have. Hair works like that too. You might think, oh, you just have locks, oh, so, you know, but you don't know how much that person is putting into the health of their hair. Diet also impacts hair. Lifestyle, you know, there's so many things, you know, even down to like just doing YouTube. You know, the goal as a YouTuber, if you're watching my video, is to provide somewhat of a seamless, effortless experience. If you're watching my video and you're like, dang, it looks rough, it looked like she did it, like that was hard for her to make that. I mean, that's obviously, I wouldn't want you to feel that way. I want you to watch my videos and feel like it was effortless, even though I know that I'm staying up till sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning working on my videos. So I think you get the point. The point is that this idea of beauty being just effortless is such a big deal. And even when it's not effortless, as women, we want it to look like it is. We want the appearance. We want the appearance of it being that way. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But the other thing is about this idea of, and I have a video about this, but this idea of like what it means to do your research. So when it comes to plastic surgery, and I think it's just, you know, when we talk about doing your research, most people actually don't do research. They don't do real research. Most people, to the degree that they're doing research, they are actually reinforcing their own beliefs about something. So research is going online, and obviously your algorithm is already curated for the things that you like, and you are essentially watching videos and reading articles and perhaps maybe even going to get books. Amazon is like that too. Amazon is serving you the books that, you know, that Amazon knows you like. Google is recommending all this, you know, so your entire algorithm, whether it be, you know, on the online or wherever it is, it's all built to feed you your own pre-existing beliefs about a thing. And so, you know, and we all do this. I'm guilty of it too, right? Like there's a reason why I make these types of videos. You know, there's a reason why some of these videos even pop up for me. I'm seeing all the women who have died from BBLs because that is sort of my stance on it, is like, I think that is dangerous. So I'm going to do research more so in the direction of it being dangerous. However, I'm also aware that there is another side. And I think part of doing real research, and this is what makes a person somewhat objective and balanced, is having the ability to kind of look at both sides, and not only to just fixate on their own, you know, things that they like, and like reinforce those things through their research. And so why that's important is because, you know, looking into, there was a lot of similarities with all of these stories, even the story about Donda West, Kanye West's mom. Some of the similarities included like the marketing of the surgery, the way the surgery was being promoted, the way the ads would describe the surgery. Like, oh, you know, lunchtime lipo and things like that. Like this idea that, oh, you can just do this on your lunch break, or, oh, you know, you're just going to be a little tummy tuck, a little, you know, a little BBL. And then there's nothing little about any of this stuff. But I think, again, you know, that is the lack of research is a huge part. Now, again, the sad part is, even when women try to do research, it's very difficult because of what you'll hear in one of these stories, where it's like, if a doctor has a death under their belt, a lot of times they're doing everything they can to hide it so that they won't lose clients. And perhaps it's not their fault that the person died, right? So that could be why they try to cover it up, but it's still something that the public, the person, the client who might utilize this doctor, is something that they should know, is something that they should be privy to, I think. And the fact that it's impossible to find out if a plastic surgeon or board certified plastic surgeon is under investigation is insane. I mean, lipo has killed people before. So again, there's nothing little about a metal rod, if you will, puncturing you over and over again to suck out fat. You know, there's nothing little about a syringe or whatever it is perforating your skin, making holes essentially in your butt to fill it with fat. There's nothing little about a tummy tuck where you literally get your skin cut off. Like none of this is small. This is very big, very dangerous. You have to be very careful, and it's just sad that these types of things, these types of deaths, I believe, will continue to happen. It's been going on for a long time, and I am going to do my best to continue to cover this topic, because if I don't, who will? So please do like, share, and subscribe. Check out the collaboration between myself and Broken Traditions. The video is, if you go to the homepage of my channel, or I think it's the homepage, it's right there at the top. I put it at the top so you can check out that collab. If you like this type of content, you likely will like that. It is about the BBL era, and it is about the influence and the impact that social media actually had on Black women getting BBLs. I have a book on Amazon about being an invisible Black woman. I also have an Amazon storefront where you can purchase products that I personally use and that I personally really like. So please do check out my Amazon storefront. The link for my book and my storefront is in the description box. I am a YouTube coach. I offer coaching and consulting to those who want to get started and grow on YouTube, to those who are aspiring YouTubers and want to become monetized. So if you are interested in that, if that sounds interesting to you, please do click the link in the description box to go to my website and check out my services, my menu of services. If you want to know how to support this channel, a great way to do that is by becoming a Black and Invisible channel member. If you become a channel member, you will get specific perks and benefits just tailored to you as a member. So you will get exclusive content, exclusive videos just for channel members, as well as some additional perks and benefits. So feel free to check that out. The link for the membership is in the description box, as well as you may see a join button somewhere at the top of your screen. I am also on Instagram, so feel free to give me a follow over there. My name is Naka, and I am here to make the invisible visible about Black women. I highlight the things that Black women typically would not tell you. And as always, stay tuned for more videos.
Since you've been gone away so long. I forgot your middle name, I forgot your birthday. You still wear cologne the same, like it in the worst way. You've been gone away. Since you've been gone away, 50-11 days, 50-11. I lost count of all of the weeks that you have your way. Wouldn't pick a fight when you'd leave. Now you're back for more. Did you find the healing you seek, or did you realize that I'm everything that you need? That wasn't there. Go back. Hurt so bad. Had to block out the memory.